Not every football player dreams of playing in the NFL. For some, the dream is something simpler, like playing for their high school football team. But every so often, an athlete winds up exceeding their dreams in ways they could have never imagined. I'm Steven Jackson, and in this episode of Legends, we look back at the career of an athlete who kept outplaying the vision he had for himself, all the way to a Super Bowl championship. I'm talking about one of the last great unstoppable fullbacks, the A-Train, no other, Mike Alstott. Michael Joseph Alstott was born December 21st, 1973. In the 1970s and 80s, kids in Illinois dreamed of being Walter Payton and playing for the Chicago Bears. And while Mike Alstott loved Walter, the only team he wanted to play for was the local powerhouse high school. Mike got his wish and ran for over 1,000 yards as a junior and won a state title. As a senior, he ran for more than 2,000 yards and scored 29 touchdowns. Suddenly, Alstott's football universe got a whole lot bigger. Colleges from across the nation all wanted him on their team. He headed to Purdue. During Mike's 4 years there, the Boilermakers didn't have a lot of team success. Alstott shined anyway. He still holds Purdue's career rushing record with 3,635 yards and an average of 5.6 yards a carry. His 39 rushing touchdowns and 42 total touchdowns were school records at the time. As a senior, he was named an All-American. Heading into the 1996 NFL Draft, not too many teams knew what to make of Mike. At Purdue, he'd been listed and used as a fullback, but he kept putting up running back numbers. He didn't have blazing speed, but he made up for it with his power and agility, which he showcased in drills at the NFL Combine. With the 5th pick in the 2nd round, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected Alstott. New Buccaneers coach Tony Dungy and offensive coordinator Mike Shula had been particularly impressed with Mike's skills as a pass catcher out of the backfield. They thought Alstott would give their quarterback Trent Dilfer another outlet in the passing game. They were right. Alstott was Tampa Bay's starter at fullback from day one in 1996. In week 7 against Minnesota, Mike scored his first touchdown on a 12-yard screen pass from Dilfer early in the 4th quarter. After catching the ball, Alstott trucked one defender and carried another to the final few yards to the goal line. Coach Dungy called it a culture-changing play for the Buccaneers. Afterwards, Mike had a new nickname, the A-Train. Mike finished his rookie season as Tampa Bay's leading pass catcher with 65 catches, a franchise rookie record, for 557 yards. He also rushed for 377 yards and led the team in scrimmage yards with 934. His 6 touchdowns led the team. Alstott finished the 3rd in the Offensive Rookie of the Year voting behind Eddie George and Terry Glenn. He was also named 2nd team All-Pro, a rare feat for a rookie. The following season, Tampa drafted running back Warrick Dunn. Mike and Dunn quickly became a problem for NFL defenses with a combination of power and speed. And when the Buccaneers reached the goal line, everyone knew the A-Train was coming. Of Mike's first 6 touchdowns in 1997, 5 came from the 1-yard line out and the other from the 3-yard line. With his bruising running style, his iconic neck roll, number 40 was impossible to stop when Tampa had a short yardage play. With 665 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns, Alstott led the Bucs to the playoffs for the first time in almost 20 years. He finished the season as a Pro Bowler and a 1st team All-Pro. Over the next several seasons, Mike would go on to play with incredible consistency. He would go on to make his 2nd and 3rd Pro Bowl appearance. But the Buccaneers kept coming up short in the playoffs. So in 2002, Tampa hired John Gruden away from the Oakland Raiders, and the Bucs' destiny took a dramatic turn. But Alstott remained a key piece in Tampa's run game. Anytime the Buccaneers needed a yard, a block, or goal line plunge, they turned to number 40. The Bucs dominated all season, winning 12 games for the first time, their first ever NFC Division South title, and their 1st round bye in the playoffs. In the divisional round against the 49ers, Mike scored a 2-yard touchdown and added another in the third quarter. Tampa cruised to a 31-6 win to reach the NFC Championship. They won again, beating Philadelphia 27-10 as Mike scored yet another touchdown. The win sent the Buccaneers to their first Super Bowl. They faced Gruden's former team, the Oakland Raiders. When Mike dove into the end zone with 6 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the first half, it opened up the floodgates. The Bucs scored the next 21 points unanswered and won the game 48-21. Mike Alstott, the kid from Joliet, Illinois, who only wanted to play for his high school football team, was now a Super Bowl champion. Alstott continued to play for another 4 seasons, but after experiencing repeated neck injuries, he retired after training camp in 2007. Throughout his career, Mike Alstott was listed as a fullback. But for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he was so much more than that. He finished his career with over 5,000 rushing yards, second all-time in Buccaneers franchise history. He also has 71 touchdowns, the franchise record until Mike Evans broke it just a few years ago. Over his 12 seasons, Mike Alstott was a punishing blocker and runner, and a sure-handed pass catcher. He was the type of player whose efforts would not be denied. If you ever needed a yard, regardless if it was pass or run, there's few backs in the history of the game that you will call before you hit the A-train. And it's because of that surety, that culture-changing running style. The A-train, better known as Mike Alstott, is a legend.